Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 6. We'll present our material about inflection. But before that, allow me to introduce the member of our group. The first one is Musdalifah. The second one is Nurul Aliafi. The third one is Asnidar. The fourth one is Sitianisam. The fifth one is Muhammad Fitrah Mirjan. The sixth one is Andi Ahmad Syudi. And the last is Didin Hidayat. The first material will be explained by Musdalifah.
So, what is inflection? Inflection is the process of adding an affix to a word or changing it in some other ways, according to the rules of the grammar of a language. In other words, it involves the formation of grammatical forms of a single lexeme, the present, past, the singular, plural, the masculine, feminine, and so on. The use of these grammatical forms is really determined by sentence structure. It does not change the core lexical meaning or the lexical category of the word to which applies. It is determined by syntax. It is the realization of morphosyntactic features or properties, namely terms, aspect, number, and case.
The second material will be explained by Muhammad Fitrah Mirjan.
1. Exponents. A. Simple exponents, one-to-one relationship between form and meaning, as one morpheme realizes one morphosynthetic feature. Sees the morpheme of Z, the exponent of the morphosynthetic feature, plural. Siles, the morpheme D, the exponent of past tense or past participle. B. Cumulative exponents refers to the springs of more than the morphosynthetic feature mapping on the single form. It can be seen the features of verbal inflection, person, number, tense, mood, voice. In other words, it inflects the subject-object agreement. And C. Extend exponents. A single morphological feature is realized multinuously one more than one form. C. Context-free and intent-sensitive inflection. Context-free refers to single directional mapping between a morphological feature and a particular phonological string. It can be seen in present participle or progressive, realized, and context-sensitive inflection, the relation of morphosynthetic feature stories.
And the third material will be explained by Nurul Aliafi.
Realization of morphosynthetic features. 2. Inherent versus assigned inflection. Morphosynthetic properties, which are neither agreement properties nor governed properties, are said to be inherent. From a morphological perspective, inherent properties are of two types. First, an inherent property may be associated with some but not all words in a lexeme's paradigm. Second, a property may be inferable associated with the words in a lexeme's paradigm. An example of assigned inflection in case the use of different forms of nouns or pronouns in order to show whether they are the subject or object of a clause or whether they are possessive, e.g. me, who, whom, Mary, marries. 3. Government versus concert government is more or less what it sounds like one word dictates the form of another, e.g. verbs and nouns or prepositions and nouns relationship. Concert Consort or agreement occurs when one element in a sentence takes on the morphosynthetic features of another element.
The fourth material will be explained by Andi Ahmad Shoyudi.
Inflectional categories. 1. Nominal categories. A number. The way in which difference between singular and plural are shown. A grammatical distinction which determines whether nouns, verbs, adjective, etc. in a language are singular and plural. In English, it can be seen particularly in nouns and demonstratives. Noun, singular book, plural books. Demonstrative, this, plural this. Dual number, it changes the meaning of the plural form more than one to more than two, but cause the plural quantifier al to mean more than two, three, or vocal number. B. Gender. The grammatical difference between masculine and feminine words such as he and she.
The next material will be explained by Asnidar.
Nominal category. The case, a grammatical category that shows the function of a noun or noun phrase in a sentence. The form of noun or noun phrase changes to show the different function or cases. 1. Nominative. The form of a noun or noun phrase which usually show that the noun or noun phrase can function as the subject of a sentence. 2. Accusative. The form of a noun or noun phrase which usually show that the noun or noun phrase function as the direct object of the verb in a sentence. 3. Ergative. A verb which can be used either transitively to focus on the person who performs an action or intransitively to focus on the thing affected by the action. 4. Genitive. The possessive form of a noun. 5. Dative. The noun or noun phrase which refers to the person or animal affected by the state or action of the verb is in the dative case. 6. Locative. The noun or noun phrase which refers to the locative of the action of the verb is in the locative case. D. Person. Universally, there are only their person in all spoken language. Nouns are always their person. First and second person form are always pronouns. The major differences among languages lies on the first person plural.
And the fifth material will be explained by Siti Anisam. Okay, there are 4 parts of verbal categories. The first one is tenses. Tenses is a category of morphosynthetic properties distinguishing a finite verbal temporal. In Latin, for instance, verbal inflect for 3 tenses. There are past, present, and future. The relationship between the form of the verb and the time on the action are stated described. And the second one is aspect. Aspect is a category of morphosynthetic properties distinguishing for a finite verb temporal reference, the various sense in which an event can be situated at a particular time interval. A grammatical category which deals with how the event described by a verb is viewed, such as progress, habitual, repeated, momentary, and so on. It may indicate by prefix, suffix, or other change to the verb, or by auxiliary verbs such as in English. English has two aspects, progressive and perfect. The last material will be explained by Musdalifah.
C. Mood. Mood is a category of morphosyntactic properties which distinguish the ways in which a proposition may relate to actuality or in the speaker's mind. It reflects a speaker's commitment to a proposition. Richard et al. In 1995 state mood is a set of contrasts which are often shown by the form of the verb and which express to speakers or writers' attitude to what is said, written. In mood, there are three parts. Namely, the first is indicative. Indicative is the form of the verb used in declaratives or questions. The second is imperative. Imperative is the form of the verb used in imperative sentences or no tense used. And the third is subjunctive, the form of the verb used to express uncertainly wishes, desires. In contrast to the indicative mood, to subjective it usually refers to non-factual or hypothetical situation. And D is voice. Voice is voice. It has to do with the role of subject as either agent or patient. The ways in which a language expresses the relationship between a verb and the noun phrases which are associated with it. Two sentences can differ in voice and have the same basic meaning. Thank you.
Besides that, there are also 5 reduplications. They are affixation and system affixation, apopology, root and pattern morphology, and suppletion. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you very much for your opportunity, and sorry if there was some mistake during our presentation. And last we say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.